My name is Kristen and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a newborn registered nurse. I work in the newborn nursery on the labor and delivery unit. I'm so excited for today's video. I am doing an August reset routine video. I love watching these and I've been getting tons of questions about how I budget, how I live within my means, especially when I posted this video right here. I got so many comments and messages about how low the Florida nurse pay is, and it's always been on the lower end, but I think people were just shocked to still hear that. Before inflation, it used to be a very affordable area, so it was very easy to live within your means in the state of Florida and, make the salary that I do now. With that aside, I am going to be talking about how I budget and talk about my goals in August. So that includes my financial goals, my wellness goals, my personal goals, and just keep y'all in the loop of my highs and lows of July and what I'm expecting August will be like. So if you are interested in this kind of video, just go ahead and keep watching. First, we got to go back to July and talk about the highs and lows. Let's start with the highs of July. I love July. I mean, it is my birthday month. I turned 27. I did go on an Alaskan cruise for my 27th birthday, and on my 27th birthday, we were in Sitka, Alaska. I spent $27.27 on my 27th birthday. I was honestly just buying shot glasses, postcards, and then magnets. Besides that, I had such a fun time on the cruise. I think I gained a couple pounds, but you know what? It is what it is. I enjoyed life. We saw whales and sea lions or seals. We weren't 100% sure which one it was. We think they were sea lions, but we saw tons of bald eagles. We saw Alaskan native deer on our backcountry Jeep tour. I saw 2 glaciers. I went on a river glacier float tour to see the Mendenhall Glacier. We went through the Endicott Arms and saw the Dawes Glacier. So it was just nice to get away from the heat. That was such an amazing trip. I'm so blessed that I got to go on that. I just happened to look at the right time for Alaskan cruises. That was definitely one of my highlights of July. And also finishing my new grad nurse residency program. I have a video coming up where I talk about my year reflection of what my year has been like as a new grad nurse. I finished. So y'all, when it comes to lows of July, I have actually been experiencing more pre-shift work anxiety. When I'm driving to work, my Apple Watch will tell me that I have like a heart rate of 130. Obviously something that's not normal. And I've been trying to tackle that, really figure out kind of what's been stressing me out, especially when I go to work. And I know that there are a few things that kind of have been bothering me. It has nothing to do with new grad anxiety. And so I will be talking about that in my future video. My August goals are, I have a visitor. Hi, Mads. Hello, beautiful. All right, well, she's just gonna hang out here. So I went to Michael's and I got myself a plain bullet journal. What I wanted to do is have all my goals in one place. And I wrote out August goals. I do like to get creative with this stuff. Just because I was in a time crunch, I didn't make it that aesthetically pleasing, but next month I am gonna go all in. Without further ado, for August goals, I have 4 categories. I have personal, wellness, financial, and work. When it comes to my personal goals, I've been wanting to spend 15 to 30 minutes in the morning reading the Bible. My sister did get me a Bible for Christmas last year, and this is the one that I have. My sister also did get me little markers to be able to section off each of the books in the Bible. So I have taken a little bit of time to go through this. I'm not far in at all though, so I just want to make sure that I take more time in the morning to start reading more verses and more passages and just making sure I really get through this whole book. I did find these really cute journals. I bought 2 of the same ones from Target. It says faith can overcome mountains. So in case I want to take any notes, it has different Bible verses at the top of every page. And now I have a notebook that is just going to have all my notes in it for the Bible. And I have 2 of these just in case I run out of room, because I know I write a lot. And with that, in August, I do want to make sure that I am doing a daily devotional. My next goal is to make sure that I'm practicing gratitude, keeping a journal, talking about things that I'm grateful for, and, you know, just spreading kindness and showing people love. Even though I might not always get that in return, I personally just feel better when I keep myself in a higher energy and a higher vibration, and I just feel better overall. Another more faith goal that I have for myself is pray before bed. I don't always pray right before I go to sleep. I do try to pray once a day, but I want to try to get more in a habit of praying before I go to sleep. A lot of the times praying can definitely help me feel more at ease and less stressed. And then I have read 2 books. For my wellness goals, well, the first one, I'm actually training for a 10K right now. I ran my first 5K in February. I did the Princess Run with Disney. It was such a fun experience. I actually ran the whole thing. I am not a runner, and by the end of my training experience, I think I trained since October and my run was in February. I actually did end up getting my mile down to a 10.5-minute mile. I know for some people that might be slow. I probably started at like a 14-15 minute mile. I was able to really cut down my time, and for me that was a great goal, and I'm just trying to stick with that this year. I want to make sure I'm running at least 3 times a week. I also want to incorporate more strength training 2 times a week. Now, when it comes to my mental health, you know, I've talked about anxiety and me experiencing more work anxiety. So I do want to make sure I'm going to therapy 1 to 2 times a month. I would go every week if I could. My work actually provided me with 6 free sessions, and then after those 6 free sessions, my therapist told me I could possibly get 6 more depending on if they would approve it or not. They did approve it, so I got 12 sessions in total for free, and now I'm responsible to go through my insurance. I really like my therapist. She still is in network. She's a little bit more costly when it comes to the out-of-pocket copay, and I pay a $45 copay. My next one is walking on average 7,000 steps. Now, I do have an Apple Watch that I wear all the time at work. Average at work, anywhere from 7,000 to 10,000 steps. So I do a lot of walking 3 days a week whenever I do go to work. My days off, though, it varies. So I want to make sure that on my days off, I am running and taking the time to go outside, and if I'm not running, walking or doing something to get my body moving. My last one for my wellness goals is drink more water. I do have my Yeti. This one is the 26 ounce or the 769 milliliter. I do try to drink about 3 of these a day if I can. Lately, I have not been drinking 3 a day, and so I want to try to get back to drinking about 3 of these. If I can even go to 4, that would be great. For my financial goals, I would like to continue increasing my emergency funds. I want to have at least 3 to 6 months of funds in there. I try my best to put anywhere from $100 to $300 in my emergency savings account. And I think the biggest one for me, make sure that I live by every single day, is really just focusing on my budget and stay within the budget that I have. The past few months, I have been spending money. I just don't want to do that this month. I want to make sure that I'm really trying to get back into my budgeting routine and habits and making sure I'm just being smart with my money. Now, my work goals that I have are review the ethics principles, because I am starting on the ethics committee in August. It's at the end of August. So I want to make sure I go through all that information just so I have a good refresher and I don't feel like I'm falling behind or not understanding something in the meeting. And then, of course, like actually start with the ethics committee. I'm really excited just because I've been dreaming of this day to really just go to the hospital and do consults. I'm just excited to just jump right in and, you know, get this experience. I've been talking about taking the preceptor class so I can precept nursing students. I don't know what it is. I think I just have a fear that I don't have enough experience, but there are some really great teachers out there that don't have as much experience as some of these other people who are precepting, and they do just as great of a job. I just need to put more confidence in myself and that I can teach if I want to teach, and I just need to take this preceptor class. So I put that on my list. The other thing that I have not talked to y'all about at all, but I do know somebody who works at one of the universities nearby, and I just want to contact them, figure out how I can get into teaching in the classroom for nursing school. That's something that I want to do before the school year starts. For the budgeting portion of this video, I'm going to quickly talk through a couple things, and then I'm just going to go through, put in my budget so y'all can see exactly what I do and what monthly income I'm living off of. The reasoning behind why I budget, why I do this for myself is Money is a huge stress for me. It always has been, it always will be. I know it's a huge stress for a lot of people. So really taking control of my finances helps decrease my stress. When I graduated nursing school, I had a lot of debt and I had a lot of private student loan debt. I am just trying to better my mental health by feeling like I have a little bit more control of seeing how I'm spending my money, going into my accounts every month, making sure that there's no like suspicious activity. I did have my identity stolen last year. I try to log on my main 2 accounts every day to make sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary. And I do like to go in all my credit cards and my student loan accounts every month just to kind of see what's going on. I actually do sit down every 2 weeks whenever I get my paychecks to see which paychecks are going to pay what. I do have my planner here. This is a Kate Spade planner. So every month I make sure that I go through and put in my work schedule. I put in when my bills are due, and I also put in paydays and any appointments that I have. I do have my post-it note, salty like saline to-do list. I got this on Amazon. I of course will link it down below if you're interested, if you're a nurse and you like it. So I love these because they do have the little sticky portion on top, so I can just pull it off and stick it somewhere. I love to put these around my room, and this is the second pack that I've ordered. If I have anything that sticks out to me that I need to get done this month, I will write it on here. Last but not least, I have my laptop. Sorry, it is a little dirty. This is where I'm gonna be putting in my budget. Normally I do plan it out in my agenda, but it does get pretty messy. So just to make sure that it's legible, I will be using my computer. All right, I have my current budget pulled up right now. This is a very basic budget sheet that I got from a YouTuber. I will go ahead, link the channel down below. For income after taxes, I'm gonna go ahead and put in nursing. My income after taxes right now is about $3,400 a month. So just a little bit about my income, and I know I've talked about this in a previous video. When I first started working, I was making $27.83, and that was just base pay. Then we did get a pay increase to $31 an hour. This is based off of $31 an hour. I have since got another pay increase since my new grad nursing period has ended. My paycheck is variable. I do get anywhere from like $1,700 to $1,900 depending on what hours I work. I'm still making at least around $1,700 a paycheck. So for comfort wise, I do just make sure that I put the lowest number possible and then I work within that budget. If I have extra money that comes in, great. And then I use that as extra spending money or putting towards savings. I don't have right now any other side job. I don't consider YouTube as an extra form of income right now. I barely get paid from YouTube, and any money that does come in monthly that I get from YouTube, I either just put it once again towards savings or I use it towards my student loans. I'm literally only living off this $3,400 a month, and this is of course after taxes. For my retirement, this is actually a 403B. I don't know how much is in there. Money just automatically comes out of my paycheck and goes towards my 403B. As you can see in this little side area, my work deductions include medical, dental, vision, short-term, long-term disability, my 403B, and my flex spending account. All right, I am gonna delete this long-term saving goal. And so for this month, I do wanna put in $600 for my emergency fund. So that is the goal. Let's see if I can do $300 a paycheck. All right, now when it comes to fixed expenses, mortgage and rent. So for me, it's rent. I don't own a home yet. I would love to one day, but obviously with inflation, it's a lot of money. It is only a whopping $500. I am living with my sister, and that is something that I am sacrificing on, not having my own place right now, to be able to use that extra money that I would be putting towards rent back into myself, my student loans, and paying off all my debt. I would recommend that if you are in a situation where you can have a roommate, stay with your family, that would be the most ideal. I know it's not possible for everybody. So in the rent money is also my utilities and all of that. Let's put car payment. I am actually leasing my car. My car payment right now is only $250. I drive a Mazda CX-3. It's a mini SUV. It's relatively affordable. This is before all the chip shortage, so car payments were a little bit cheaper back in 2018, 2019. I'm actually planning on buying this car because of all that's been going on. There's no reason I need to be spending more than that on a car payment, especially when I have other debt. And my car runs just fine. It gets me to point A to point B. I'm not a huge fancy person when it comes to cars. Would I love a luxury car one day? Yes, but right now it's just not in the cards for me. For the next expense that I have is car insurance. My car insurance is $117. So for the next category, I am going to get to student loans, but for now I'm going to put gas just because I want to keep all the car stuff together. All right, when it comes to gas, I do like to put my car maintenance in there as well in that budget. I know some people have like a separate category for it, but for me it's easy just to make one category and then I divvy it up how I need to throughout the month. So I hope I spelled maintenance right too. I like to budget right now around $200. I normally only fill up my car twice a month. I normally am good with a full tank for 2 weeks going back and forth to work and home. Depending on how much I spend on gas, whatever that extra is, I will put towards maintenance if I need it that month. And of course, I always have my emergency fund if anything happens and I need to spend a little bit more on my car that month. For the next part, I guess I can put in my student loans. Now, I probably should say, when I went to nursing school, my program was about $55,000, and I don't like talking about the program that I was in because I don't want to sway people going to my program. I know a lot of people have said, oh, your experience looks so great. I'd love to go to your school. Like, where do you go to school? But the thing is, every person's experience was their own, and my school was so expensive. So there were some students that absolutely hated my program, and then there were some students that thought the program wasn't worth the money. Other students loved the program like me. It really just is what you make of it. And I did have to take out private loans. So I took out about $50,000 worth of private loans for this program because I already have federal loans. Right now, I'm obviously not paying my federal loans. I have been working towards paying off my loans, and I don't owe as much as I did last year when I graduated. So don't let this number shock you, but I do pay $590 towards 2 private loans. One's a little bit more expensive than the other, and the more expensive one, I am actually enrolled in a loan forgiveness program for nurses in the state of Florida. So in April, I will be getting $4,000 towards that loan, and also almost to the year of making payments on it, where I will be refinancing this loan as well. This is a big number. It is a huge stress for me, and even just talking about it, and I know a lot of people are gonna probably say negative things about this number, but I did want to be a nurse, took the responsibility knowing that I took out loans, that I'd have to repay them, and here I am now repaying them. And I also know I'm not alone. There are lots of people that are in as much debt or even more debt than I am, and I'm here to talk about how I'm paying it off and how I'm living within my means. So I just hope that with me being transparent, more of y'all can feel comfortable and confident with, reaching your money goals. Okay, so Spotify, Apple Music. I actually do have a student Apple Music account. It's still student, I don't know why, but I do pay $5.99. They did just increase that. But I actually do pay for a gym membership, and that gym membership is about $28 a month. Okay, when it comes to credit cards, I like to make sure I'm getting my rewards points on my credit cards. I do have a few credit cards, but I use them for certain purposes. So I'll use one credit card for my everyday expenses, so that includes gas and food. And then I'll use a different credit card for travel. My Navy Federal credit card that I have. So I'll probably have to figure out how to work with this algorithm because it might say that I might have less left over. But the Navy Federal card is normally the one that I put all my expenses on. And then at the end of the month, I'll pay off that card so I can get my points. And that will include, like I said, food, gas, or any shopping or anything that I do that month. So normally on average for this, I normally pay about $300 or so. It really just depends. I'm just giving you a rough estimate. I don't actually know. Sometimes it can be more, sometimes it can be less. Did have money on my American Express, and this is the stuff that I used for my travel whenever I went traveling last month. So that is something that I do have to pay off this month, and it's just $85. This isn't a credit card that I pay all the time, but I do want to put it in there because I do have to pay it off. I don't like to have balances on my credit cards. All right, well, I guess I can put my gym and my flexible spending. So I'll go ahead and delete it up above, and I can put my credit card a little bit higher. So I'll put up here, fun with friends. For fun things, I don't know. Every month is so different. I guess I can put 100. Self-care, I definitely try to do $50 a month, no more. I'll try to once a month do a massage, try to get my nails done. All right, and this of course is travel. I definitely try to put $200 a month towards travel if I can, because so what does that leave me? $124 left over. And like I said, with this leftover amount, this is not including the fact that I put that extra money on my Navy Federal for everything I need to pay off, just based off the spreadsheet, that leaves me with $124 left over that I could put somewhere else, like savings, go out to eat. I don't really go out to eat very often anymore, so I don't really have that as a category. That kind of is like in the grocery category or like funds with friends. Maybe next month I'll have a better way to kind of work my budget. Honestly, this is my first time doing this, so I will definitely try my best next time to work with my budget a little better and maybe have a different spreadsheet that's more realistic to my needs. All right, y'all, last but not least, now I'm moving into books. So for the month of July, I read a more faith-based book. So if you're not into that, just go ahead and skip to the August reads. This is Who Are You Following by Sadie Robertson. She did a great job at talking about her own social media experiences and pulling in verses from the Bible and just speaking her truth throughout the whole entire book. I was at Target and I saw this book. I read the synopsis, put it down. Then when I was at the checkout counter, I actually went back for it because something was telling me to pick it up and go buy it. I have been trying to find more faith-based books just so I can be more intentional when it comes to making sure that I am putting God first in my life. I feel like this book gave me confirmation as to everything that I was doing within my social media life is on the right track. For August reads, I have a few books here. I have 4. I don't know which ones I'm gonna pick and choose yet. I have started reading one of these and I took this one on vacation with me, so I got through like a third of it on my cruise. And this one is, once again, a faith-based book. It's called Everybody Always: Becoming Love in a World Full of Setbacks and Difficult People. So it's just talking about how you can show love to everybody, even people you don't want to show love to, thinking and being more like Jesus and how he was so loving and accepting with everybody. This one is a self-help book. It's called Nonsense. I purchased this one a while ago and it's just been sitting on my shelf. This one is mainly about like the power of not knowing and trying to like relieve your anxious thoughts. And I feel like all that's been going on in my life, this one's a great one to pull off the shelf now. I did go to Barnes & Nobles and purchase 2 more books. So the first one that I purchased is The Pull of the Stars. The synopsis kind of just pulled me in, which is why I decided to buy it. It's about a nurse who works at an understaffed hospital during a pandemic where everybody is quarantined. So we kind of already went through this, picked it up. I felt like because it was about a nurse, it could be relatable for me. And the last one that I picked up is The Silent Patient. Let me tell you, I saw this one at Target like a couple months ago. It was 30% off. I didn't purchase it. And so I've been wanting to read it ever since. So this one is about a person named Alicia who shoots her husband 5 times and never speaks another word. It sounds so interesting. Well, that is all that I have for y'all in today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this August reset routine style of video because I am gonna hopefully be doing more of these throughout the year. I figured it's just helpful for me to go back through my goals, talk about my goals, see what I've accomplished, hold myself accountable, y'all hold me accountable, and just show y'all what life is like as a registered nurse, how much I make, how I budget. You know, I'm here to be very transparent with y'all. I really don't make a ton of money and yet I'm still able to afford things and do things extra. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, anything like that down in the comment section down below. And of course, I always just want to wish you luck on your nursing journey.